look, if you find any of this information I'm about to tell you confusing or you don't want to mess with it, contact me. I am a travel agent who specializes in Disney, especially Walt Disney World and Disney Cruises as well. Those are my two things. Walt Disney World, though, that's my main passion because I like to come up with itineraries. So I will, I will book fast passes and dining for you and do itineraries and any extra magic and book your resort and your tickets and give you recommendations. Whatever you need. My services are free to anyone who books with me. You don't pay me anything. So there's nothing to lose on your part by booking through me. I will do all the work and you just get to relax and enjoy your vacation and make magical memories with your family. So please like this video, comment, subscribe. Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to discuss nighttime entertainment at Walt Disney World. I will include a brief description of the nighttime entertainment as well as any dining or dessert packages that may be available for each of the shows, as well as some special tips will be sprinkled throughout this video. Just going to dive right in. Okay, so first up, I started with Hollywood Studios. And at Hollywood Studios, there are 2 nighttime shows. And as of right now, you have to decide which nighttime show you would like to see in its full content if you are only at Hollywood Studios for one night. So I recommend going to Hollywood Studios for a day and a half, so that way you could do 2 evenings if you are interested in both of these shows, or just biting the bullet and picking one show. So first up is Fantasmic. Love Fantasmic. It centers around Mickey Mouse. The show is approximately 30 minutes long, and it is Mickey in his finest. He's Sorcerer Mickey. Mickey has a dream where he's fighting villains, and appearances are being made by Pocahontas and Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Aladdin, which is a really good scene, The Lion King. There are floats that go by. I'll put a little thingy up here from our last trip because we saw Fantasmic as we usually do. So will the villains prevail or will Mickey defeat them? Go to the show and find out. Disney, what do you think? There you go. But it is a fantastic show. There's pyrotechnics. There's projections. There's projections on water. There are floats that go by with characters. There's a big steamboat that comes out, or a paddle boat, I guess it is. I'm not really sure. It has all the characters on it, and they're dancing, and it is just a great, great show, and it's so entertaining. Now there is a fast pass available for this, but it's kind of hard because it's in the evening. So and it's a tier 1, and at Hollywood Studios there are tiers for fast passes, and I will explain that in a future video. If you choose to use a fast pass for this, then you will miss out on Toy Story and Rock and Roller Coaster, and you will not be able to get a 4th fast pass because you have to use all 3 fast passes before you can book your 4th, and this one is usually around park closing, the show. So I wouldn't get a fast pass for it. And if you decide that you would just you're winging it, you're going to the show, then you should plan to arrive about 45 minutes before showtime. There are bathrooms up in the stadium area, and there are snack stands as well. The amphitheater is huge, but I have been there many times where they have announced at the park that Fantasmic is standing room only, or there is no more room in Fantasmic. So, keep that in mind in your planning process. Another route to go is the Fantasmic dining package, and this is what we usually do. You have the choice of 3 restaurants, and what it will get you is a meal at one of the restaurants of your choosing and a seat in the reserved seating area for Fantasmic. So your choices are Mama Melrose, Hollywood and Vine, which is currently only available for lunch only, and Hollywood Brown Derby. You can use the dining plan for all three of these. Keep in mind that Hollywood Brown Derby is a 2-credit table service restaurant. Wow, it took me a long time to get that out. 2 table service credits will be used at Hollywood Brown Derby. You will receive for Mama Melrose and Hollywood Brown Derby an appetizer, an entree, a dessert, and a non-alcoholic beverage. Hollywood and Vine is buffet. And then when you arrive to your meal, because it's booked under the Fantasmic Dining package, you will also receive your voucher, don't lose it, for your reserved seating for Fantasmic. If you do get the Fantasmic Dining package, then you can show up about 20 minutes before showtime starts. So that way, you know, it's less time to wait around. The other show at Hollywood Studios is Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular. It is approximately 14 minutes long, and it takes place on and around the Chinese theater. So when you walk into Hollywood Studios and you go straight, the theater is straight in front of you. And during the day, there is a stage set up right in front of it for a Star Wars show, Galaxy Far, Far Away. But at night, the show, Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular, will have projections on the theater and on the sides, as well as pyrotechnics and some fireworks. You will enjoy scenes from Tatooine. I'm sorry, I get the Phineas and Ferb song stuck in my head when I do that. Have you seen the Phineas and Ferb episode with Star Wars? It's so cute. My kids have it on their iPads. It's absolutely adorable. And we love Tatooine. Apologize for the singing. I suck at it. But every time, Tatooine. And now it's in there all day. Okay, I digress. There's an asteroid field, the Death Star, Hoth, lots of scenes. It is absolutely fantacular. Oh my god. It is absolutely fantastic. There are lasers. It's a must for any Star Wars fan. Now, this show is very popular, and there isn't much room to see the show, so if you are planning on going, I would arrive about 45 minutes to 30 minutes before the show, stake out a spot, and don't move. If there's 2 parents, you know, one of you stakes out a spot with the kids, and then the other one goes and gets snacks, or they take, you know, whatever it is, because people will hone in on your space. It is, you know, not a time to have the bubble around you. People do not care. Or another option is the Star Wars dessert party. Now, this takes place at Launch Bay, and you should check in about an hour and 45 minutes before showtime. And in Launch Bay, they have little tables set up, and there are such desserts as a Darth Vader cupcake, an R2-D2 cupcake, Rice Krispie treats, mini chocolate cakes, sugar cookies. You know, they do have some that is more, they have flatbreads, so more savory items are available as well. There are also alcoholic beverages, such as Galactic Punch, Light Speed Margarita, Swamp Milk, which it does not sound good. I don't know why that gets me, but okay. And there are non-alcoholic beverages as well for the kids. Now, there's no seating, but they will accommodate ECVs and wheelchairs, and every guest will receive a Chewbacca themed stein as a little souvenir. Currently, the price is $69 for adults, and in Disney terms, that is 10 and up, and $39 for the kids, and that is 3 years old to 9 years old. Dining credits cannot be used for any dessert parties. So any ones that we mentioned in the future, no dining credits can be used for the dessert parties. Like I said, just check in an hour and 45 minutes before showtime, and then approximately around 15 minutes before the show, you will be escorted from Launch Bay to your reserved viewing area for the fireworks show. So the next park we're going to hit is Epcot, where some people say Epcot stands for Every Person Comes Out Tired. Obviously, that's not what it actually means. But you have the big show there is Illuminations, and while I do think it needs an update, it is Epcot's baby. It is approximately 12 minutes long, and it takes place in the World Showcase Lagoon. Now, best seating, you're not going to get a seat. You might get a seat. There are benches around World Showcase Lagoon, but the best viewing area I suggest would be after Mexico, before Norway, and then towards Italy. Because if it's windy, the wind will blow the smoke from the show towards England and Canada and that side. So you have a better shot on the Mexico, Norway, Italy side of the World Showcase Lagoon. So the Illuminations highlights the story of Earth, and it takes place in 3 parts. And I will be honest with you, I didn't know it while watching the show. So once I knew this, then once you go back and you watch the show, you're like, oh, that's what that means. Okay. So the first part, Earth is born. Part 2 is the triumph of life. And part 3 is the hope for future. It is a neat show. It just needs an update. There's a Earth ball. I'll put in a picture here. And there are fireworks and pyrotechnics and lasers. So it is nice. There's also the Illuminations Sparkling Dessert Party. I know. See a theme here? Disney? They were thinking. So the location of the dessert party is in World Showcase Plaza, directly next to Port of Entry. All right, so you're coming from Future World, and you're going to World Showcase, and you're going directly down center, okay? So behind you would be Spaceship Earth, and there is that walkway, and there's water on both sides. There's trees there, a little bit of shade, but I don't know why it always feels so hot right there. So you go straight, and when you hit the lagoon, that patio area, because during the day you can go there, that is where the dessert party is. All right. The menu is an overview of World Showcase. So you have baklava from Morocco. You have cannolis from Italy. Chocolate ganache tarts from France. You have an Asian-inspired dish. Warm chocolate pudding from the United Kingdom. Oh, and a lot more. Beverages include non-alcoholic beverages, as well as alcoholic beverages such as sparkling wine. This one is the cheapest of them all. It is $49 for adults and $29 for kids. So what if it rains, you ask? It's a good question. If it rains, they have a space for this indoors. Sometimes it's in the America Pavilion because where Voices of Liberty sing. So they will set up tables for you in there as well. They do have a backup. Tip, check in for this party about an hour before Illuminations, because this one's a little bit different, as where you're not leaving this area to go see Illuminations. You're already in the area to see Illuminations. So you can relax a little bit more than, say, the Star Wars party where you have to go to Launch Bay and then they're going to move you about 45 minutes before the show. So you want to make sure you get your money's worth and your dessert's worth. The next park is Animal Kingdom. And Animal Kingdom has one nighttime show recently, and it's Rivers of Light. It took a long time for them to get this puppy going, but they finally did. Boat sank, float sank. There you go. So Rivers of Light is approximately 15 minutes long, and it's a celebration of nature. And like I said, they have floats, they do projections and water and sound and light, and there are live performers. It's a really nice show. You have 2 options for actually you have 3 options for Rivers of Light. You can do standby, and like I said, it's the only nighttime show at Animal Kingdom. They do a projection on the Tree of Life, but this is like the show. Now maybe with Pandora opening, maybe eventually they will bring more, because Pandora is popular at night for good reason, because it's so pretty. So if you do standby for Rivers of Light, plan to arrive about 45 minutes before showtime. There is a Fastpass option for Rivers of Light. Now, I would not recommend a Fastpass for Rivers of Light, especially with the opening of Pandora, where you're going to want to use your Fastpass for one of those 2 rides, probably Flight of Passage, because if you've been looking at it, the wait times for it are insane. But with the Fastpass for Rivers of Light, once again, just like the Fantasmic Fastpass, it is late in the evening, so you're not going to get a 4th Fastpass, and the seats are okay, but they're not great. Your third option, and this is the one that I would choose, or at least recommend to you, is the Rivers of Light dining package. Now, you can use your table service dining plan credits for this, or you can pay it out of pocket. It's available at 2 restaurants that are participating, Tusker House and Tiffin's. And Tusker House would be 1 table service dining credit, and Tiffin's would be 2 because it's a signature restaurant. With Tusker House, you will receive a buffet, which is what it is, and a non-alcoholic beverage. Now, the tip for Tusker House is plan on dining 2 hours and 30 minutes approximately prior to showtime. So that will give you enough time to enjoy your meal and not have to worry and stress, and then be able to just leisurely walk over to Rivers of Light and have your nice reserved seating and no worries, not rush. For Tiffin's, you will receive, because it is a signature restaurant and you will order off of a menu, an appetizer, an entree, a dessert, and a non-alcoholic beverage. And like I said, that's 2 table service credits. For Tiffin's, I recommend eating approximately about 3 hours before showtime, just because, and I find this true with any of the restaurants. With buffet, you're on your time, because you can go up as many times as you want. It depends on how fast you can eat that plate of food. With a regular table service restaurant, you have to, you have the wait staff, you have the kitchen, you have to get your bill, you have to pay for your bill, so there's a lot of factors into it. So I would just book it just a little bit earlier. They are available. They will give you times leading right up to the show, but I would just, I would do Tiffin's 3 hours in advance, and Tusker House about 2.5 hours in advance of the show. So once you've enjoyed your meal, you take your little voucher and head over to Rivers of Light. You want to enter in the Dino Land section, and you can arrive anywhere from 15 minutes to about 35 minutes before the show, and you will have no problem getting a seat in reserved seating. It is, and this is true for Fantasmic too, it is first come, first serve. So if you want to be down center, then you should arrive, earlier, but it is reserved. So it's nice that we usually don't care. The dining package reserved area is a great area to sit in no matter what. So we've never had a problem. So we just like to meander in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes before showtime and have a little seat and, maybe have a snack while we're waiting, but no stress, nice and relaxed. And finally, we have the Magic Kingdom. Now, the Magic Kingdom, I have a little something to tell you. They recently retired Wishes, and Wishes was retired. The last night was on May 11th, and I was very sad. I watched it. It was live streamed, and I cried. And I have to say, on May 12th, I woke up a little sad. I was sad. Not a little sad. I was sad. I love Wishes. I don't know why I have this connect with it. I cry at every show. I just absolutely enjoy it. I have the soundtrack now. I cry in the car. My children are getting ready to commit me. But I don't know what it was. So on May 12th, they had the brand new show. And it is called Happily Ever After. And I'm not fortunate enough to be there right now. I do have a trip coming up. But I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. Because I have to know. So I watched the live stream of it, and I have to say, they blew it out of the water. It is absolutely incredible. I was ready to hate this thing. I was like, oh, this is going to be terrible. I hate the music. I heard a preview of the song, and I was like, ugh, it gives me the feelies. It's terrible. I don't want to watch it. It's absolutely freaking incredible. This show is amazing. It goes through classic Disney stories. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Aladdin, Princess and the Frog, Big Hero 6, just to name a few. It is a projection show as well as a fireworks show. So here is a tip. you have to see the whole front of the castle. You have to. And people are waiting for this thing for like 2 hours, which to me, I can't. I mean, I get it if it's your once in a lifetime trip and this is what you're going to do and have somebody, you know, cop a squat and somebody else goes and gets a snack. I can't. I'm not that person to sit there and wait 2 hours for a fireworks show. You do have to see, though, the whole front of the castle to get the visual of the projections, because it's absolutely incredible. So, if you don't want to wait 2 hours, you have 2 options. And they're both dessert parties. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Okay, so both dessert parties take place at the Tomorrowland Terrace. You will enjoy desserts such as, oh my gosh, they had so many. Chocolate covered strawberries and pastries and cakes and brownies and ice cream. There'll be cider and there'll be hot chocolate and lemonade and soda and water and so many choices. So for the dessert parties, you should plan to arrive at the Tomorrowland Terrace, which if you don't know, when you're going down Main Street, I do that, I'm picturing it. When you go down Main Street and then you're going to turn, I'm going to try to do it for you, left, okay, past the ice cream, oh my gosh, I can't talk today, I apologize, past the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor and go straight. There'll be bathrooms on the right and then there's the Tomorrowland Terrace. You should arrive about 75 minutes before showtime. So like I said, there are 2 dessert parties. They both start at the Tomorrowland Terrace. There is the Tomorrowland Terrace fireworks party, and if you choose that one, you will stay there. So you will enjoy your desserts and your drinks, and then right before showtime, they will move you to the terrace where there is reserved seating for the fireworks show. The other dessert party is the Tomorrowland Terrace fireworks dessert party with Plaza Garden viewing. So approximately 15 minutes before showtime, if you choose this one, they will take you from the Tomorrowland Terrace and escort you to the Plaza Gardens, which, if you've been there in the past, it used to be the old Wishes Fastpasses. If you haven't been there, or if you didn't get the Fastpasses, you'll see it. It's the little, they're so cute. It's the manicured garden area right outside. There's one outside Casey's, and then there's one outside the Plaza. I'm doing it backwards. I'm sorry. There's one outside Casey's, and there's one outside the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. And they're absolutely adorable. They have little, you know, fake turf. And it's really nice. And that's where you will see and watch the show. Okay, so for all of these, they are booked separately. So if you go online and you want to book, it will have its own thing. So, for example, with Fantasmic, just because you have lunch booked for Mama Melrose doesn't mean it's the Fantasmic dining package. That is a separate entity unto itself, so you have to make sure you're booking the correct thing, okay? And my 3 main tips for all of these dessert or dining packages are: reservations must be made at 180 days out if these packages are released. If they're not released, then they have to be booked, reserved, as soon as they are released to guarantee a spot, because some of these go fast, especially during busy times of year when you don't want to be wrangling, 2-3 hours ahead to watch a show. This way you get to enjoy a nice meal and have no worries about seating. Park admission is required for the dessert and the dining packages. Okay, so no matter what you're seeing in the parks, even if you have a dining reservation in Epcot, you have to have park admission to get into that park to enjoy that restaurant. So you need park admission in any of the parks that you will be visiting for the dining and dessert packages. Also note that due to weather, the nighttime shows may be delayed or canceled. So you can check the entertainment schedule. You can also check with cast members while you are there. They usually know, depending on storms, around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. if the show will be going on that night. So that is all the nighttime entertainment at Walt Disney World in each of the parks. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.